Can brands and creative directors tell visually impactful stories within 10 seconds? Well, that's the question. Hi, I'm Shibani Gharat and welcome to Storyboard presents Facebook Thumbstoppers, Short Stories Move Hearts. Well, in this initiative, we're going to discuss how short format storytelling aims to redefine the way in which brands are telling stories, and that too within 10 seconds. Let's dive in.
As part of the campaign, Facebook launched 4 films that showcased how it is possible to evoke an emotion and impact human behavior under 10 seconds. The Thumbstoppers challenge is now open. As part of the challenge, creatives can submit their scripts under 10 seconds in one or all of the following categories: breaking stereotypes or social causes, little big moments in life, start a habit, and products you love. The best 20 thumb-stopping scripts will be commissioned and shot by Facebook and will be screened at the Facebook Thumbstoppers Grand Finale. The top 4 winners also stand a chance to win a ticket to Cannes Lions 2020.
Welcome back. You're watching Storyboard presents Facebook Thumbstoppers. This new initiative by Facebook aims to redefine the way in which we tell stories in this truly digital era. We spoke to Sandeep Bhushan and he talked about how Facebook has partnered with some of the creative directors from this industry. Well, on this panel, we have all these creative directors present. With us, we have Senthil Kumar from Wunderman Thompson, Rajdeepak Das from Leo Burnett, Sukesh Naik from Ogilvy, India, Ashish Chakravarti from McCann World Group, India, Garima Khandelwal from Mullen Lintas, Nirmal Pulikal from Facebook, India. So Nirmal, this initiative by Facebook has seen a lot of partners coming together from the creative industry. We have all the creative directors on the panel today. Tell us, how do you see this particular initiative redefining, in fact, the shorter format video?
I don't think this is something that we're all not aware of. Everyone's obviously, we've all been creating content for consumer behaviors that's been on display for the last 5 years or so. So it is something that we're all driving, but I think sometimes it takes a concerted effort so that it's kind of, it's not so much an afterthought and not the last 4 slides of a presentation. And just let's focus on those 4 slides and see how we can make stuff that's purpose-built for this medium.
Okay, so short stories move hearts. That's your tagline. We are living in a very interesting era of advertising. How far do you think, this industry has come? Probably Sukesh, what do you think?
We all have grown up, at least I've grown up on people telling me stories, and we had the time and the luxury to narrate those stories, and I read stories to my children and I see the difference in the way they react to it. I think the biggest thing to understand is that we just don't have the time or the patience to indulge in something as much as we would like to. Not that we don't want to, we would love to. So it's become tighter, and we have to be creative. We have to have the bandwidth to think of stories even in that tight spaces, which are magical, which are memorable, and they should be able to leave an impact even if it's a 2-line of a story.
So what is it that you need to do more?
We need to challenge ourselves to be not just specific to time frame, like a 10-second or a 15-second, but be creative in that duration, to be able to engage them so that even when they are scrolling through their phone, they want to see that, and when they see it, they should remember it. So how do I think of an idea that can not just inform my audience, but engage the audience in such a way that he remembers or she remembers me after she scrolled up or she's gone further.
Okay, advertising or creative agencies always have had that copy and art combo. Raj, what according to you, with mobile and with mobile storytelling, how has that changed, or how does that need to change in the coming days? Is there an evolution there? Do we see it evolving in the coming days?
Medium has changed drastically now. The concept of what you call the prime time has no more that 7 to 9 or 7 to 10. It's any time. You are in a shit pot, that is a prime time. You have nothing to do, that's a prime time. And the new generation of creatives that we have now come with that band with them. They was born with that. They're born with a mobile phone with their hand. So they exactly know how to tell a story. And they know if they want to know what kind of story they want to listen, they know how to make a story like that. If you look at it, for instance, GIF, they talk on GIF, they talk on memes, they talk on all the different medium that was not done before. And it was short, quick, fast, and that's it. You don't have that much time to tell me a big story, tell me a story quick. I have just 15 minutes to do something, or I'm on a way to just waiting for riding a bus or getting a lift. Tell me a story in that much time.
Okay. Senthil, we've seen you create some of the brilliant visual stories that we have seen in the recent past. The purpose of advertising is to, probably connect emotionally with the consumer to create that impact. Do you think it's possible within the 10-second format? Is it powerful enough? Is it long enough?
I think it's possible, and it depends on the size of the screen. So if it's the work that we've created so far has been for large screens, and therefore you have this large widescreen cinema halls, and you create long format work for that. But the moment the screen size reduces to the size of the screen on your mobile phone, I think you'll have to work towards creating an impact in that phone. And that's why we probably call this Thumbstoppers, because then it's playing on silent. I mean, it has to be visually still so powerful and so stunning that it forces you to, to hold your thumb there and to watch it again, or to pump up that volume button and to listen to it and watch it 3-4 times. So if you can engage the audience to that level, then you have succeeded. To create work in this medium for the mobile, I think it's possible because it takes less than 10 seconds for a tear to roll down your cheek. It takes less than 10 seconds for your face to turn red when you're angry. So I think it's possible to push the right kind of buttons and create work that leaves you engaged and creates an impact on your screen, on your hand.
That's a great thought. Garima, from you, I want to know, creative platforms, platforms such as Facebook help you break away from the traditional molds of, let's say, a print campaign or a TV campaign or a radio campaign. How do you look at that?
I think that any platform or any medium comes with its opportunities and limitations. And I think I'd add back to what Sukesh was saying, that end of the day, it's about the idea, like what makes you stop and really remember something and play it back in your mind. Because there are rules, there are regulations, there are norms, but eventually it's still about the idea that needs to grab your eyeballs.
Okay, so, there are a lot of things, Ashish, to grab attention within a few seconds. Then probably shoot in that vertical format because, even for television, for that matter, we shoot in a horizontal format. So to change that, a lot of things that you've been traditionally doing, do you see that as a challenge or a new opportunity?
Well, it's both. It's a challenge. I was quite excited to hear the kind of, thinking that one will have to, the kind of thinking hat that one will have to wear to, deliver emotion in a medium like this. It's very small. It's not with, the massive kind of production budgets that we usually accompany. It's a different format. You have to think without sound because the person, it's just sort of scrolling by. But what is exciting is that, like most of us, I think, in here, when we joined, it was the world of print, and then the medium changed to films, to TV, the lead medium. And we used to say that initially, most of the writers were doing 200cc film campaigns. So it sort of, brought with it its older kind of rules to try and apply over here. I don't think that's going to work for sure, because this is absolutely a new medium. You'll have to figure out on what exactly, is exciting over here. The old sort of arcs of stories will have to change. I'm really looking forward to the kind of stories that emerge out of Thumbstoppers, therefore.
So Nirmal, what I'm hearing from all of this conversation is, there is obviously there is an uncertainty, a sense of uncertainty on, how to do this. There's also people who are looking at it as an opportunity. So can you tell us what is the secret sauce for a Thumbstopper?
You just have to try out a lot of stuff. It's not as singular as before when, front page solace or, 30-second TV spot, because there's various touch points. And with this medium, there's a few things you have to do. One is, because we're in an attention deficit economy. So the first thing you have to do is break through. So which is why I think a lot of the time restrictions and all that. So first thing I have to get is your attention. Once I get your attention, what do I do? I need to reward that interest, which means that is more, and it is not a passive medium. It's not, just one-way propaganda. And then maybe once you are a little deeper into it, you can have deeper engagements. If you not just look at Facebook and our suite of products, I think the entire digital ecosystem allows you to do a lot of these things in different ways, and you have to look at the entire landscape out there.
So, Garima, Raj, Senthil, Sukesh and Ashish, if you were to give like a piece of advice to like the future generation, to those who have just joined this industry on how to create those Thumbstoppers, what would that be?
I have one. So my advice to them is that in the ecosystem that you are growing up, it allows you to not just to be creative, but to put that creative piece of work out there and let the world judge it. I think that's the best thing that they could ever have. They have all the tools, they have all the gadgets, they have everything in their hand, and they can be free. I mean, they're absolutely free to do what they want to do and express themselves.
Okay.
And there can't be a better definition for a creative person to have the freedom to express themselves in a public domain.
That's a really interesting thought, Ashish.
So I actually thinking that maybe I don't have an advice, but because I think they will figure a way. But if there was to be one, it would be to play, because it's a new toy. If they play with it, I'm sure they will come up with interesting kind of ways to put things out. And the second thing is to not be afraid to put it out. A lot of kids, they play with it, but then it sort of stays in. So some of these mediums actually allow you to publish and get an instant reaction.
Okay, so to be free and to play with it sounds fun. So the youngsters are taken care of. Raj, if I were to ask you, what about the marketers and the brand guys? What would be your advice to them?
See, they are mavericks, and the marketing also. They are mavericks, they are followers. And mavericks will do that, because we have clients, we have partners who actually know what next to be done. There will be mavericks who will go and say, you know what, let's do it, let's experiment it. Things will happen. I think that's the only way. Fail fast.
Garima?
I want to say that really figure out a way to shock us or shock people, because that's really something that needs to be done, because there's so much that's going on, and like we've been also saying that attention span is not there, people don't remember stuff. How do you do something that gets remembered? So do something that's shockworthy.
All right, all of you, thank you so much. That's a great set of advice, in fact, for all those budding marketers and creative directors. That's it for the show today. Goodbye.